Morning! I thought we'd do something a little bit different today. The sun is shining, everyone's feeling good, and I thought we'd do a feel-good video. Let's do a top 5. My top 5 reasons I think that electric vehicles are better than those stinky old fossil-burning vehicles. Number 1, maintenance. There is none. Well, that's a bit of exaggeration. There's very, very little in comparison. Once a year into the garage, plug it in, make sure everything's working okay. If you're really unlucky, you'll need a brake fluid change, but that's it. Look at that against an ICE car. Oil filters, pistons going up and down, spark plugs, exhausts, all these extra things that go round and round, up and down, need lubricating. There's none of that. All there is a battery, an inverter, and a motor to drive it. Everything else just looks after itself. So nothing to worry about. Yes, there's been a bit of an issue possibly with some batteries, but it's a very small amount. And look at the data that's coming out of Tesla. Hundreds of thousands of miles, very, very little battery degradation. So absolutely nothing to worry about. And the manufacturers themselves are so confident, they put whacking great warranties on. I think Nissan, 8 years and 100,000 miles. They are confident in their product. So let's buy it with confidence. Number 2, and this is my favorite. Torque, power, however you want to refer to it, that instant power off the line that gets you away. Now, I'm not saying that all EVs are going to beat everything up to 60 mile an hour, but that initial from the line, 30, 40 mile an hour, you can go with most stuff. And it is good fun. It's a grin, I have to say. Certainly for me, I think the first time I ever came across it or ever realised what power was there was I sat at a set of traffic lights. I don't even know what it was. It was a Mercedes AMG of some description, quite a new one, young lad driving it. And I happened to just nudge forward at the line. He took that as an invitation to a race and started smiling at me. I hadn't intended to race, but never once turned down a challenge. I knocked Eco off, and as soon as the lights changed, hit the floor and off we went. And when he did catch me up, because as I say, by 40 mile an hour, he was coming back to catch me up. All I could see was his little face looking in my window going, what the? And all of a sudden, I was a middle-aged man in a family car looking cool. Reason number 3, convenience. Never having to go to a petrol station, never having to fill it up, never getting petrol and diesel all over your hands, never worrying about the price of petrol. Every morning that I go out to my car, it's plugged in, it's ready to go. When I get home at night, I plug it in, it charges when it's doing nothing. I'm not wasting my time during the day going to and from petrol stations trying to get enough petrol to get me wherever I'm going. Yes, there are times when you're running low on battery and you have to go and find a rapid charger. And yes, it does take 30 minutes. But generally, if you've been driving that much, you need a wee anyway. You need to go and get a coffee. You need to go and do something. So it doesn't take that much away from it. And as these batteries get bigger and they're able to go further, it's going to be less and less of an issue. So the future for that is even better again. So convenience is way up there on my top 5 as definitely a reason to have an EV. Number 4, running costs. It cost me considerably less to run this EV than it ever did to run my petrol car. In fact, I'll tell you what, come with me, I'll show you what it actually costs. Come on. Welcome to my garage. It's a tip, I know. Sun's out, so we're trying to sort out water sport stuff, hence stuff everywhere. That said, if you watch this a lot, you'll know it's always a tip. Anyway, that there is a separate electric meter that tells me how much electricity is going out there into my car. And at the moment, I jotted it down because I can't see it from here, 10,173 kilowatt hours. That's what I've used in nearly a couple of months short of 3 years of ownership of that car. Let's work that out. My electricity is somewhere between 12 and 13p a kilowatt hour, so let's call it 13p, times that by 0.13. £1,322.49 is what the electricity from my house has cost to run that car. Now, yes, that's not the full story. I've done over 36,000 miles. It hasn't cost me £1,322 to do 36,000 miles. I have paid for some of those charges elsewhere, but I have also got an awful lot of those charges for free. There's so many destination charges you can go to where you can plug in and it doesn't cost you a penny. So based on that, let's see. It gives us an idea. Divide that by 36,000. 3 pence, 3.5 pence a mile, even if it's 4 pence a mile, even if it's 5 pence a mile, that is considerably cheaper than what it would cost me to run my petrol car. So cost of ownership, when you add that onto cost of maintenance, it's nothing, it's minimal. That's where you make your money back. I couldn't stay inside any longer, it's way too hot in there, the sun is shining, so out I've come, and it's a perfect opportunity to explain to you point number 5. Sorry, I've been painting a wall, it wouldn't come off. Anyway, right, point 5. Point number 5 is all about the noise that this car makes, or lack of it, let's be honest. It's so quiet in here that it's just a lovely, peaceful place to be. Doesn't matter if you're on A road, B road, country road, dual carriageway, motorway, wherever you are, the noise is greatly reduced. I mean, just have a listen. That's 40 miles an hour on a B road, which isn't the best surface, I have to be honest. It's just lovely, it's so quiet. And what I've actually found is, I can't remember the last time that I got really riled up with somebody else on the road. Now, I know if you watch me regularly, you know I'm quite an affable sort of chap, and things don't generally bother me and I don't get too wound up with stuff. But you know, in the past, of course I have. Of course I've got cross and angry with other people on the road, and I've shouted and waved my fist because I'm so angry. That's about as much as it gets with me. No, but I haven't felt that at all. And I think a lot of that is kind of, it's all part of the sensory input that you get from driving a car. So, you know, when you start revving your engine and all that noise starts hitting you and everything else, and you're changing gears and all that sensory input, it can't help but bring your adrenaline levels up. Brings your adrenaline up, heart rate goes up, you start breathing heavy, you start feeling panicky, and that kind of, just stop doing what you're doing, that feeling comes over you. I don't get that in here at all. All I get in here is peace and quiet. And if somebody does something silly, well, do you know what? It kind of washes over me now. It's the same with driving fast. It's bizarre. I drive so much slower in this car. Now, I wasn't somebody who raced around like a lunatic, but I always drive pretty quickly. I'm happy in here. It's such a nice place to be because it's so peaceful, so relaxing and so quiet. It's just a great environment to be in. So that's my 5th and final point, and that kind of brings today's video to an end. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's kind of giving you a feel for what an EV, well, certainly gives me. And do you know what? Maybe you know something different. Maybe there's something in your top 5 that I've missed off that you think is worth commenting about. So stick it in the comments. I always love seeing your comments. I always love having that interaction after every video. So stick them down below, and perhaps we can help people that haven't got an EV yet or are thinking of buying one. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, remember to hit that like button and share it with other people. And if you're not doing so already, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.